Hi, Charles Moman here. Well, we're out at Muscatatuck National Wildlife Refuge today, and we thought I'd just pick a different place to film instead of my driveway all the time. We just got back a few days ago with our brand new 2020 RangeRunner, the new fiberglass composite model. How was it driving on the highway? Well, we really didn't notice any big difference at all, except it's wider because we had the 4x8. The weight is about the same. My wife drove some and she said she didn't really feel any difference either. So as far as towing it, it's just like towing a typical Runaway camper. Well, behind me you see the old Myers cabin here at the back of the Muscatatuck National Wildlife Refuge. We're pretty excited about our new camper. We finally got it back here, and actually we have a decal we're going to put in 001. It's the very first of the 2020 models, and we haven't camped with it actually. We were on a blitz to get back home, and we just transferred everything out of the old camper. Didn't even put the storage boxes on the front that we're going to do, so we just sort of filled up the camper and drove home. We did stop at a Holiday Inn Express, but we will be camping in it pretty soon and doing some testing and letting you know how it works with the cold weather. Well, I actually didn't have a whole lot more to record out at the Wildlife Refuge, but I kept trying and more people kept coming down the road, and that cabin's at the very back part of the refuge, but for some reason it was a very busy time there, so I just kind of gave up. So as I was saying there, this is a stock RangeRunner, the new 2020 fiberglass composite model, and we didn't really order a lot extra except for the racks, the front storage rack, and a rear window. You can still order nothing back there, or you can have a door. Most of the options remain about the same. Ours also has the 13-inch spare tire underneath, and for some reason that concerns some people, but what do you get with a car? You get a donut, or maybe a run flat tire, or even some real expensive cars you get a fix-a-flat. So it's just for a temporary time, and so I consider getting a full size and hanging on the back or on the front, but I don't want that in my way all the time for something that may never happen. We've gone over 3 years without a flat, and I've gone since I think 1969 without a flat tire on a car while driving on the highway, so it'll all be okay. So here we have the new cargo tray that Runaway is putting on the 2020 models. I picked up the one that they had been putting on and this one, and wow, what a difference. I'm glad Leon showed me that. Much lighter. It might be a little bit shorter, but not much. And what we're going to do is what we did before. We're going to have a 30-gallon and a 5-gallon Craftsman's totes, and I'll be putting U-bolts underneath and through to hold them on tight. On my 4x8 I even ran bolts through the front, but I think that's kind of overkill. I don't need to do that. On the 4x8 we had like 45-gallon totes, and it allowed us to haul stuff we didn't need. So this actually is going to help us minimize. And the reason for the smaller one is we have a new, it's like a Whisper Light, but it's a Coleman, a dual fuel stove, and it can use unleaded gas or the white gasoline. And so that's what we want to keep over here separate, so that gallon can will be in here with the stove. In case there was any leaking, it's going to stay over there and not mess up things over here. So, but this is going to work out great, and it looks nice too. So back here, I'm going to do what I did in our 4x8. I've got reflective tape, and it's going to go all along the bottom here. And then I'm also going to be putting it on the rack all the way across, and wow, it really shows up at night when headlights hit it. And then we're going to be putting LED strips on the 4x8. I had one on each side, and I'm going to do that again, but this time I'm getting even longer ones, 20 inches on each side, and here. So they really show up in the daytime, and of course they really show at nighttime especially when you're turning and braking. Those people behind you can't miss that. And I might be putting this 001 somewhere on the camper. We're pretty proud of having the very first one coming out of Runaway, the new 2020 fiberglass composite camper. So the rest of this video will just be a little bit of Susie in the garage showing you some of her plans on the inside. All right, Mrs. Moman, you're in your new little camper, and tell us what you want to tell us.
I'm very excited. The bed I made fits perfectly. I have his side and the yellow side, my side. And so I have all this room because we sleep short. I actually found some fabric in the basement that will work perfectly to make the curtains. I got this Velcro, and I'm going to do the same Velcro curtains that I did before. About the Velcro, I am going to put a strip all the way across the top of every window, so that's just a practice piece to see how it works, and it really works. So I'm going to just sew this to the fabric, and it'll be great.
And so we're using the extreme Velcro.
Yes.
And so it can hold 15 pounds.
Yeah, and the curtains will not weigh that much. But for the curtains, I'm not doing this sticky part on the fabric. I'm sewing it. I have different Velcro. I'm sewing it so it won't come off when you pull it off.
Okay. And you made the bed frame underneath, and so we're not going to do it, but it turns into a sofa.
Yes, it turns into a sofa, and then we'll have room underneath for storage.
Right. And you like the lightness and all?
I love how it's so light. I'm going to make a shelving system. I don't know if you'll be able to see my drawing that I did. It's going to look kind of like this, and it's not to scale or anything, but it's going to be plywood. It's the sanded kind that's really smooth and pretty. I'm going to put that here as a countertop with feet to hold the weight of it up. Feet here in the middle and feet on the ends. And then over here I'm going to have a shelving, more shelves, and then a little countertop at the top. So I'll have all this distance as an open countertop that whatever we're doing at that point in time, we'll have somewhere to put it instead of like, what are we going to do with
So
this?
if you sitting there, we're just demonstrating the space, because most people put in like a queen mattress, but we don't need that much room to sleep, and we'd rather have this empty space right here. Oh my goodness, it's gigantic in here, isn't it?
Yeah, we found a little thing that works just at the edge there.
Right, and we don't have the lighting in yet. We're going to be putting, tomorrow I'm getting from Amazon, LED thin strips that go around the edge, and I'm not sure what other. And
flooring.
Yep, go ahead.
Now we're going to get the interlocking foam flooring.
Which we had in the little camper just by the doors.
Yeah.
So we're going to cover the entire floor it'll give some insulation, and even the composite panels, we'll do some testing and see what effect they have. And you'll notice that the screws, and so I'm showing you the shelves here, and then there are screws, of course, with the AC and with the power strip. And what they used were number 10 sheet metal screws, 3/4 of an inch, because the composite panels are an inch. And so just like anything else, don't strip anything and be careful. But we're going to be using the Velcro Extreme or Industrial Strength for just about everything that we can. And that way, if we change our minds, we can remove it. And so up here you see the brace, the awnings on top. And so they have these metal plates to help support those. And I think that's about it for right now.